I always think at the core, you have to have good judgment about stories and material. The ability to say, yeah, this is the story. My name's Nik Powell. I'm a producer of 45 plus feature films, produced or executive produced. Prior to coming into this business, I was in the record business. This is Nik's Masterclass if you're thinking of becoming a producer. Your judgment about the people that you work with has got to be absolutely critical, and especially talent. You know, you've got to work out, because you're a first timer, you're likely to be working with a first time director. I say first time feature director. Never work with a first time director. They should be directing in some other format. You need to be quite tough and have really good judgment. When we saw the first Coen Brothers movies, before anyone else in the world had seen it other than other distributors, and no one else wanted to buy it, and we bought it. Or the first Lars von Trier movie, or the early Frias movies, and so on. So having that ability to spot talent before other people do, and then to be able to work with it. You know, the person that may make your living for the next 50 years when you leave film school may be sitting right beside you. In other words, they may be staring you in the face. My original partner, we grew up in the same village. We were best friends. He's now worth 4 billion. Very often people overlook people who are right in front of their noses because they're not like glamorous, they know them too well. So it's not so much who you know, it's about spotting the talent that's in front of your nose. I think the biggest hurdle for a lot of people in our business, they hate selling. And selling, of course, is the other fundamental quality a producer's got to be able to have. Selling of ideas, the selling of yourself, the selling of other talent. So I've got to sell this director to someone else. Think of selling as persuading people to do what you want them to do. Because a producer needs to be able to sell an idea to a writer, then sell the result of that to, you know, actors and to crew, and then he's got to take all that, or she's got to take all that and sell it to the distributors and then to the funders. So your ability to sell is just fundamental. So I always say, since you're going to be doing all that all your life, get to enjoy it. Every picture is always a huge risk, because we very often have to put the picture into production before we have properly signed off all of the funding for the picture. Otherwise it never happens. I can remember I made a picture called Ladies in Lavender, which I made for my mum, by the way. When I took the risk of that, and we're right closing out and funders have pulled out and come back in, we have what we call a closing meeting, which is I get all the financiers together and I say, we've got to agree all this shit. And the guy who's chairing it, he said, Nik, you've tricked us again. And I went, me? Trick you? I said, what do you mean trick me? They said, you have sent Dame Judi Dench, Dame Maggie Smith, 4 Oscars between them, down to Cornwall and started shooting. And we don't have a deal. I went, we do have a deal. He went, I don't have a deal. You don't have a deal, Nik. I went, we do have a deal. I thought if I repeated enough, it would become like true. But anyway, we went on like this, and in the end I said to Vince, Vince, this is the film business. If you don't like the effing film business, get another effing job. And he went, Nik, you think I haven't tried? Anyway, he was great. We closed everything, everybody laughed, we closed up, we signed it off, made a delightful, lovely film, and I got a royal premiere with the Queen for my mum. How about that? I am so divided between the pick up and play, learn on the job, blah, blah, and film school. I'm in a situation of having left school at 16. I don't even have a degree, whereas I'm now running a film school. I would not be running a film school if I didn't believe that film schools can add enormous value. I think the great thing about film schools is you can save time. You can avoid loads of mistakes. So I'm sort of support both. I think it really depends on you as a person, which way is going to give you the best chance. And I absolutely believe that the producing courses in places like here, or the AFTRS, these are great producing courses. One of the good things about film schools, practical film schools anyway, is, you know, you'll be producing loads of short films. You'll learn how to work with creative people as a producer. You'll learn the mechanics, you'll learn the craft, you'll form relationships in a film school with cinematographers, editors, all the people that you need to make something good. You need to have a really decent knowledge of films. There's so many great Australian films. You know, if I was a young Australian growing up now and I wanted just to go back, you know, through Australian filmmaking history, there's no lack of complete gems. Go all the way down to Philip Noyce's two first films. I love Newsfront, I love Dead Calm. But then you're back up with more contemporary films like Animal Kingdom, Romper Stomper, The Chopper. There's a sort of Aussie violence that is unique, the particular way that Australian filmmakers have approached Aussie violence. I love Priscilla, of course. Proposition, the dish, you know, who can not love Strictly Ballroom or Muriel's Wedding. Put in a vote for one of my own films, Welcome to Whoop Whoop. Go watch all these gems, you will not be disappointed. Thank you and thank you. No, I didn't mean that. No, thank you very much, everybody.